the Westlake High School cheerleading parent meeting. I know that there's a lot of uncertainty going on in the world right now, but I am so grateful that we are able to get things moving with the cheer program here at Westlake. This will be kind of a lengthy parent meeting, not any longer than what would happen if we were actually face to face. But I do ask that you watch the entire thing from start to finish, and there will be a code somewhere in this whole video that you'll have to enter into your portfolio to make sure that you watched it. So here we go. Hey guys, my name is Burgundy. I am the head Gold Squad coach and faculty advisor for the program. I am super passionate about cheer. I cheered all through high school at Westlake. I went on to teach summer camps with USA staff, and then I have been coaching here at Westlake for the last 6 years. I have a cute little family. I am married with a little girl named Ivy. She's 2 years old, and an Australian Shepherd named Pepper. And I love to craft, I love my family, and I love cheer. I'm so sad I can't meet you guys, but I can't wait till we get face to face and can actually meet.
Hello, future Westlake cheerleaders. My name is Brooke Silva, and this will be my 6th year coaching at Westlake. I am the Gold Squad assistant coach, and I also get to work with the competition team. A little bit about me: I graduated from Westlake, and then I went to the U and got my bachelor's in human development and family studies. I now am married with 2 little girls, a 5-year-old named Remy and a 1-year-old named Ava. I'm so sad that this parent meeting has to be virtual and that we don't get to meet you, and I am looking forward to the day when we get to meet you all at tryouts. See you then!
Hi, my name is Josie Richens. I am one of the assistant varsity coaches this year. This will be my 2nd season coaching at Westlake. I cheered at Westlake in high school all 3 years on varsity. I loved the football games and competing. I was very passionate about the competition season. It's just me and my 95-pound Bernedoodle. His name is Trip, and I'm sure you'll hear lots about him. I'm very excited to meet you all very soon.
So now that our Gold Squad coaches have introduced themselves, let's go over their responsibilities and contact information. We'll start with myself, Burgundy Fisher. I'm the Gold Squad head coach and faculty advisor. So I oversee for all of the teams, grades, finances, any probations and suspensions, scheduling buses, calendared events, and then I also do skill training, choreography, discipline, anything pertaining to practice and games. And then also game time management. My email is coachburgundy@gmail.com. And next we have Brooke. She is the Gold Squad assistant coach. She oversees Gold Squad skill training, Gold Squad choreography, squad discipline, practice through practice and games, and then Gold Squad game time management. And Josie Richens is also one of our assistant coaches for the Gold Squad team, and she has all the same responsibilities. Brooke's email is brooksilva3@gmail.com, and Josie's email is josierichens@gmail.com. All of this information will be on our blog and will be available in the bylaws.
Hi, my name is Taylor Guerra. I am the JV head cheer coach, and I have been coaching for 3 years now. I cheered all 3 years of high school at Westlake when it first opened and graduated in 2012. I married my high school sweetheart, Austin, and we have been married for 7 years now. We have 2 kids. Mason, he is 5, Brexton is 2, and we love anything outside. We are always camping, riding our razor, playing basketball, anything outside, that's where you'll find us. And I am super excited to meet you guys.
Hi, my name is Morgan. I am the JV assistant coach. I have been coaching for 4 years now. I cheered all through high school at Westlake and I loved it. I have 2 little boys. One, his name is Niall and he's 5, and then I have my baby, his name is Kendrick. We just got a brand new puppy named Hank, and we're so excited to have him. We love sports. My boys' dad coaches football, and so we're always watching football. We're always out doing sports all summer long, and I'm really excited to get to know you guys.
So excited to have Taylor and Morgan for another year. They are our Blue Squad coaches, so let's go over their responsibilities. They will be in charge of anything pertaining to the Blue Squad skill training, choreography, discipline at practices and games, and game time management. Taylor's email is coachtaylor@gmail.com, and Morgan's email is coachmorganbrown@gmail.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Kirsten Keach. I'm going to be the White Squad coach this year. I've been involved with cheer my whole life. I did all-star cheer growing up, and then I did high school cheer at Salem Hills High School, and then I cheered at BYU for 2 years until I went on my mission to the Dominican Republic, and then I came back and graduated. Then I was the head coach at Spanish Fork High School for a year, and I stopped that to do grad school, and now we're here. Outside of cheer, I'm a speech language pathologist by trade, so I do speech therapy for a job. And I'm married to James. We have little Henry as our 6-month-old baby. He's so cute. I'm sure that my team will see a lot of him this year. And other than cheer and speech, I do a lot of traveling with my husband when we have time, and some reading, and I really like watching sports. And I'm so excited to get going with the season and finally meet my team and get involved with Westlake.
We are super excited to have Kirsten join our coaching staff this year. She has so much experience and is going to have so much to bring to our teams. She is the White Squad coach. Her responsibilities will be anything pertaining to White Squad skill training, choreography, discipline at practice and games, and White Squad game time management. Her email is at the bottom, kirstencollins@gmail.com. Okay, requirements for tryouts. We are asking that you are cleared on Register My Athlete. This includes a physical uploaded by May 14th at 10 a.m. We'll go into what that looks like at the end. You must be enrolled at Westlake High School, Lake Mountain, or Vista Heights, and then a tryout portfolio turned in by May 8th, which we will also go over at the end. Now moving on to expectations. Cheerleaders are expected to be positive representatives of their school and community at all times. Cheerleaders are leaders. This requires them to be good students, support school activities, and be a positive example at all times. Cheerleaders are athletes. This means there are certain skills and abilities that are required. All cheerleaders will be expected to be in good physical condition. A physical examination must be completed by tryouts. Cheerleaders are expected to be dedicated to the high school cheer team. Therefore, team members will not be allowed to be on another competitive team other than Westlake competitive teams. So you will be judged on two things. One will be your portfolio. This will be a Google Form portfolio turned in by May 8th at 10 a.m. And then your actual physical tryout. Tryouts will be based on the following skills and attributes: motion, jump, stunts, dance ability, enthusiasm, kicks, gymnastics, overall appearance, attitude, teamwork, work ethic, dedication level, etc. And the teams will be determined after a 1-day period, and that will be a gold, blue, and white squad. Okay, let's go over squad structure and responsibilities. I'm sure a lot of you, especially our returners, are wondering what white squad, blue squad, and gold squad mean. These are new terms that we're using going into next year. So white squad will consist of freshmen, sophomore, and juniors. We won't be having seniors on the white squad. They will be required to cheer at JV and sophomore football home games, the varsity homecoming football game, varsity volleyball home, and varsity wrestling matches that are home. They will also cheer JV boys and girls basketball home games and will not be cheering away games during basketball season. And then we have our blue squad, which will consist of freshmen, sophomore, juniors, and seniors. They will be required to cheer at JV and sophomore football home games. So they will cheer alongside with the white squad. They will also be cheering at the varsity homecoming football game. They will kind of trade off white squad, blue squad, and gold squad with varsity home game or varsity volleyball home games and varsity wrestling home matches. And then the blue squad will also be cheering varsity girls basketball home and away. And then we have our gold squad. It can consist of freshmen, sophomore, juniors, and seniors. They will be required to cheer at varsity football home and away, varsity wrestling home, varsity volleyball home, varsity boys basketball home and away, and assemblies that we're asked to perform at. And then our stunt team, which are our male athletes. This team can consist of freshmen, sophomore, juniors, and seniors. They will be required to cheer at varsity home football home and away, and varsity boys basketball home, and assemblies. These squads will also be required to show support by making appearances at other school athletic and club events. Also, I'd like to note any seniors that are placed on the blue squad will additionally be allowed to participate in the halftime of cheer senior night and cheer the senior night basketball game, which is super fun. Section 1, cheerleaders will always be students first. So let's go over grade requirements. Cheerleaders will need to maintain a minimum of a 2.75 GPA. Failure to maintain minimum requirements will result in cheerleader being placed on probation. They will have weekly eligibility grade checks, and you can read about that in the bylaws. I'm not going to read every line in this PowerPoint and of our bylaws, so a lot of this you can go through and read on your own as well. If the cheerleader is not able to meet the minimum requirement for more than a month, they will be suspended from all cheerleading activities, including practices, until the minimum requirements are met. The time they would spend in practice will be spent in study hall so that missing and late assignments can be made up and the minimum grade requirements can be attained. If a cheerleader is suspended for grades for a period of 1 month, they will then be removed from the squad. Cheerleaders must have a 2.7 GPA or better at the end of the term. Failure to produce a 2.75 at the end of the term will result in disciplinary action determined by coaching staff, including removal from the squad. So keep your grades up, go to class. You definitely should be a student first, and anytime there are problems, we would love for you to come chat with the coaches, and we will definitely work with you. And then let's go into section 2, attendance. Class attendance, all NCs need to be made up and excused immediately. This seems to be kind of our number one problem through the year. It's got better every year, I think, because people are understanding what our standards are. But just if you're going to have a doctor's appointment or a dentist appointment, just make sure you're getting those NCs made up quickly or those absences excused. Game day attendance, all classes must be attended on game days. If classes are missed, cheerleaders will be benched for the game that day, regardless of parent excused absences. Basically, if you can't beat a class, you can't cheer at games. And then cheer class attendance. Cheerleading is a formal class that takes place B5. So that's the first period on B days. Grade deductions are given for absences, tardies, non-participation, wearing incorrect or incomplete clothing or uniform, breaking any NFHS spirit bylaws or NFHS spirit rules or bylaw rules. Because cheer is full participation activity, there is no makeup work. Absences the week of a performance will result in probation from that week's performance. I'm going to read that again. Absences the week of a performance will result in probation from that week's performances. So, what that means is, say we have a performance on Friday and you are missing class on a Monday, you will not be allowed to be in the performance. So, say the halftime or the assembly on Friday, you could still potentially cheer the game, but we are needing to set our performances, and so we need you to be there that week. Um, and then game attendance, if any athlete misses 2 games in a season, they will be suspended from all cheer activities for the next 4 events. Games are mandatory, so we need to make sure that you are at those games. Obviously, if we know something well in advance, and it's an excused absence, we will definitely work with you, but for the most part, games are mandatory. Excused absences would be extended illness with a doctor's note, weddings of immediate family members, not extended family members, and funerals. All right, let's go on to section 3, grading policy. It is part of the academic curriculum. Credit is earned and grades are given accordingly. Cheerleaders will earn grades based on their attendance and participation in the following areas: class time, poster sessions, pep assemblies, games, and other activities as specified by the advisor. The grading policy will be as follows. So you can see the class, games, state events, pep assemblies. Reasons for loss of points would be late, absent, no dress, not in full uniform. Point loss will be determined by coaches and advisor. So, yeah. Okay, let's move on to section 4, summer practice. Cheerleader training occurs during the summer months. Each cheerleader is expected to attend summer practices and summer camp. The Gold Squad will be attending the UCA Stunt Camp in Ogden July 7th through the 10th. The Navy and White Squad will be attending the UCA camp in Ogden June 25th through the 27th. With the COVID-19 stuff, these dates potentially could change, but this is what we are registered for at the moment. During the summer, cheerleaders may have 2 excused absences without penalty, but such absences are strongly discouraged. These days must be prearranged at least 2 weeks in advance with the coaches and can be used at cheerleaders' discretion. If the absence is due to illness, advisors, coaches, or captains need to be alerted before practice starts, preferably by 6 a.m. Any absences that are unexcused or exceed the 2 allowed absences will result in demerits. Other reasons for earning demerits can be seen below. Cheerleaders will be placed on probation from a week of cheer for every 6 demerits. So 1 demerit is 30 minutes tardy, not dress, inappropriate behavior, unprepared with required material. 2 demerits, over 30 minutes tardy, inappropriate behavior, unprepared with required material. 3 demerits, any absence exceeding 2, inappropriate behavior and or attitude. New team members who have prearranged family vacations before the parent meeting may work with the coaches to have an exception made to the demerit system. So if you have a summer vacation planned that has been planned since last year, you didn't know your child was going to try out, email me as soon as this is done, let me know, and we'll see kind of what we can work out. So let me kind of explain the demerit system. So you have 2 excused absences. On the 3rd one, you would get 3 demerits. On the 4th one, you would get 3 more demerits. Once you hit 6 demerits, you would be sat a game. So you technically have 3 unless you have some of these other demerits kind of add up to make the 6. But I hope that kind of helps in what that means. So yes, let's move on. Section 5, probation, suspension, or removal from the squad. My least favorite section. We really have had some amazing athletes the last few years, and so we haven't had a lot of problems, but we do have to have it in here. So, probation, if a cheerleader is placed on probation, they will be required to be at all functions in full uniform, participating in cheering, but from an area designated by coaches or advisor. So basically, they're going to be up in the stands. They can't have food or phones or sitting by friends because the cheerleaders cheering can't have those things. So some of the reasons why you could be put on probation is if you do get those six demerits during the summer. If your weekly grades fail to meet the 2.75, if you have failure to maintain skills that the cheerleader demonstrated during the audition. So what that means is if you try out with a back handspring and we go to put in your back handspring at a halftime or the first game and you can't do that, you could potentially be put on probation because that is what we took you for, is for that skill. So I hope that makes sense. And then suspension. If a cheerleader is suspended, they will still be required to be at all functions, but will not be allowed to dress or participate. They will sit in designated area by coach's advisor. No food, phone, sitting by friends. So the same as the probation, but you can't be in uniform. That would be Reasons for that would be 4 weeks of not meeting GPA standards. You didn't hit your term grades at the end of the term, so once grades were posted. Bad attitude or behavior towards team members or coaches. Truancies or other attendance issues, or bus violations. Basically, with the suspension is we don't want you representing Westlake cheer because of a continued problem. And then removal. If a cheerleader is removed from the team, they will need to return their uniform and will not be allowed to represent as a Westlake cheerleader. So, the following reasons for removal would be a second violation of the probationary offenses, illegal behavior, severe issues as determined by admin and coaches, any use of illegal substance, including e-cigarettes and vaping, stealing on or off school grounds, inappropriate use of social media, or bullying. So, kind of a heavy subject, but we do want to make sure we have things in place, and we do hold a super high standard for cheerleaders. They are the representatives of the Westlake High School name, so we just want to make sure that we do have those high standards for them. All right, uniform. Cheerleading uniforms should be worn during assigned activities only. They should never be lent or worn by anyone other than the cheerleaders during their year of use. Any lost items will be the responsibility of the cheerleader to replace. Jewelry must be removed during practices and games, including piercings of any kind. Also, any unnatural hair color will not be allowed during the season. So, a couple things with that. Should never be lent or worn by anyone. That includes Halloween. Please do not lend your friend your cheer uniform so they can be a Westlake cheerleader for Halloween. That we would not be acceptable. We need all jewelry removed during practices and games. It is a huge safety concern. So you want to make sure you're not getting any new piercings during the school year. So because we will make you take it out or you will sit. Any unnatural hair color will not be allowed during the season. We do like the cheerleaders to all be in uniform looking the same, and unnatural hair color is very distracting. So, school uniform on game day. On the day of the game, cheerleaders will be required to wear matching spirit wear to school. Hair may be styled as desired unless otherwise directed. So, usually for a home game, we like everyone to dress really nice, just to kind of stand out as something exciting is happening. And then for away games, we'll do some sort of game day shirt or hoodie. And it's super fun, and I think everyone enjoys doing that. Game uniforms will normally consist of the official shell, top, skirt, briefs, cheer shoes, and hair bow. White no-show, ankle socks must be worn. At times, warm-ups or other articles will be part of game uniform. Hair must be styled as director with flyaway pieces secured out of the face. Jewelry, long nails, and gum are prohibited. Bra straps must never show. Cheerleaders who do not wear the assigned uniform in its entirety must not be allowed to participate in that day's game or event, and a grade deduction will be incurred. Those points cannot be made up. So if you don't come in the right uniform, say you come in the wrong skirt or shell, we will not put you out on the court or out on the field, and we will wait for your parents or friend to bring you the right outfit, or you will sit the game. Travel uniform. In an effort to look professional and uniform, cheerleaders must arrive at games and travel on buses in their cheerleading apparel and shoes. Other articles and accessories should be carried in the designated cheerleading bag. This is something we really tried to change last year, is that when we are traveling, getting on and off the bus, that we are looking very uniform together, and not just in whatever hoodie and sweats that we want to be in. Especially after performances, we like to all be matching in uniform and sitting together. Loss of uniform, which we hope never happens. Cheerleaders who lose an article of the uniform, spirit wear, or sweats must pay for a replacement piece immediately. The cheerleader will not be allowed to participate until the article of clothing is replaced. Non-participation will also result in grade deduction, so be very careful with your clothing. I repeat, very careful. Especially with washing, we want to make sure that we're following washing instructions of uniform. I'm going to try to do a better job next year of giving more instruction of how I would like uniforms and warm-ups and practice gear to be washed, because we do wear them so often and for so long. I want to make sure that they are being taken care of and that we know. So I will try to include some instructions next year. Section 7, Captains, Presidency, and Other Squad Jobs. Captains will be chosen by the squad, and advisor coaches will be asked to assist in various responsibilities during the season. These assignments may include running warm-ups at practice and games, calling cheers, designating game plan, and other function as deemed by the advisor coaches. All captains and members of the presidency will be required to maintain a 3.0 GPA. So we do have additional requirements for our captains and a little bit higher expectations for them because they do have a lot of responsibilities. So we just want to make sure that they are being held to a very high standard. Section 8, transportation. For some reason, I have problems with this every year. So I do want to make sure that you understand what the expectations of transportation are. When bus transportation is provided to an event, all members of the cheerleading team are expected to ride on the bus to and from the event. Parents are allowed to take their athlete home from the event if they make arrangements with the AD cheer coach days to hours in advance. No cheerleader will be released to a parent who has not given the coach significant advance notice. This is for the safety of your children. Cheerleaders who arrive at an event must never ride home from an event with friends or parents of another cheerleader. So you ride it there, you ride it back. I will not allow for boyfriends or friends to take your kids home. This isn't my rule. This is the state's rule. This is the school rule. So I do want to make sure it's very clear what that rule is. So yeah. Section 9, social media and phone use. What a fun section. Social media. As members of Westlake High School Cheer Squad, cheerleaders are expected to represent themselves, their family, and their school as a positive role model. Social media, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. I'm also going to add TikTok will be monitored to ensure that they are being a positive example of the squad. Any inappropriate behavior will result in suspension. Every member will be required to friend follow the designated cheer account through your social media accounts: Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, and TikTok. If a cheerleader is asked to remove any tweet, picture, or comment by the coach, advisor, or admin, she will be required to do so immediately, not days later, because that doesn't make sense. The following disciplinary actions will be taken. This is a very serious section, and I really hope the cheerleaders are understanding what they're agreeing to when they join the cheer team, because we do have really high offenses for this. So the first offense is a 2-week suspension from all games, routines, dances, stunts, etc. So if this is a picture or a post or a comment that is vulgar or inappropriate, in your first offense, you will get a 2-week suspension. Second offense, suspension from the remainder of the term. And third offense, removal from the team. So please take that very seriously, and we will go over what our expectations of that are multiple times throughout the year, and especially when the new team is picked. Cell phone use, there is to be no cell phone use at any time during class, practice, games, events, activities, etc. If you need to contact a parent in the event of an illness or emergency, please ask the coach for permission. The following disciplinary actions will be taken. First offense, confiscation of the cell phone or for the remainder of the event. Second offense, 2-week suspension from all games, routines, dances, stunts. Third offense, suspension from the remainder of the term. It's really distracting to have your phone at practice. It's really not. That's like some of our favorite memories are in between, like practice when you're getting water and you just get to laugh with your friends, and it's really a bonding time. So we don't want the athletes on their phones and isolating themselves, rather than getting to know their teammates. So that is social media and phone use. Next, we have dedication. Being a member of the cheer squad is the equivalent of being a 3-sport athlete. Therefore, cheerleaders will not be allowed to participate on another competitive team during the cheer season other than Westlake competitive team. Cheerleaders are advised not to participate in other school activities or jobs that require a significant time commitment during the cheer season. That's basically August to April. And then this includes, but is not limited to, school plays, other athletic teams, all-star cheer squads, competitive dance teams. In addition, cheerleaders should be aware that there will be no exceptions made for missing events for work, vacation, social events. If you are going to be a member of this team, we ask that you prepare to make the same commitments or sacrifices that would be expected from any other athletic team or club production. With that being said, I feel like that's something that we do really well at, is give plenty of notice and time to schedule things. So calendars will be provided to inform each student of events at least 2 weeks in advance. Most of the time it's 4 or 5 months in advance, but anything that's going to be required or mandatory will be given 2 weeks in advance. These events will be required to attend. An exception will have to be made for state games, because we don't know those sometimes until 48 hours before. We don't know the times and days until the day before. Cheerleaders will need to rearrange their schedules in order to attend those state games. I try to put the state games on the calendar that could potentially be there, but sometimes it can kind of change a little bit, and that's just completely out of our control. So, yes, dedication. Next is injury. Unfortunately, due to the nature of cheerleading, serious injuries can occur. If a member becomes injured in or out of cheerleading and is unable to train with his or her squad, a medical release note must be submitted by a physician to remove the cheerleader from activity and clear the cheerleader back into activity. The cheerleader must then prove through conditioning and training that he can return to full performance and will remain absent from routines until doing so. A cheerleader may be permanently removed from stunt groups and performances due to an injury. This is It is expected the injured cheerleader to remain attendance at the functions even though participation is limited or prohibited. NFHS Spirit Rules of Safety. All efforts will be made to prevent injuries by the following and National Federation of State High School Association Spirit Rules of Safety. That's a lot of words. All Westlake High School cheerleaders are required to attend the stunting certification course in the spring. UHSAA risk management rules will not allow a cheerleader to stunt during, I need to update that, the 2020-2021 year if they do not attend this certification clinic. So we do want to make sure that they are attending that clinic. That way we are insured and they're insured through the state, and that we are able. And if they're not able to attend that, then I can't have them stunt until they have. All right. Section 12, communication. Communication via email is required. Policy is that we respond to every email within 48 hours. Please reserve communication via text for emergencies or extreme circumstances. Please don't text and call me or Brooke or Josie or Taylor or Morgan or Kirsten. Please email us. We get them just like text. I'll get parents saying, well, I didn't know if you would read my email in time. My email will pop up just the same as a text would. It's really hard for me to keep track of text messages. I am not as good at responding to texts as I am to emails. And so unless there is an emergency or a special medical concern, I will keep in contact with some parents if that's the case, but for the most part, it is email. So there's the role of the cheer staff. So that's us to promote the health and safety of student athletes at all time, to be a model for appropriate language, sportsmanship, and behavior at all times, promote among athletes a sense of team membership and unity. If necessary, be available to meet with admin and parent, be a positive role model of commitment and dedication to academics and activities, and follow all NFHS safety guidelines. And then role of parents is to support your student athletes' efforts to success, promote a positive environment that is beneficial to the development of your student athlete, assure that your student athlete will attend all scheduled practices and events, promote a model mature adult and sportsmanlike behavior at athletic contests, and then parent-coach communication. Appropriate concerns to discuss with coaches, safety concerns involving your child, ways to prevent your child or ways to help your child improve, your child's attitude and work ethic, concerns about your child's behavior, and then emergencies that may occur. Issues that are not appropriate to discuss with coaches. Quotation playing time, because we don't play, but the time on the field or the court of any student athlete. So if it's not your athlete, I will not discuss it with you. It's against the law and I will not do it. Team strategy, practice organization or schedule or placement during routine stunt groups and events, and other student athletes. So yes, that is communication. More communication, procedures to follow if there's a concern to discuss with a coach. Your child, so the cheerleader, should speak to the coach about an issue before you intervene. This will help our student athletes grow into young adults. I think this is one of the most important lessons through cheer that I feel like these kids can learn, is just how to have a mature conversation with an adult and solve problems on their own before they go out into the world. So I love to sit down with them, and if they can just give me like, hey, can I speak to you before practice or after practice, and we can sit down and talk about it. And we hope that we can resolve those issues then. And then I think it really helps give them that tool when they do go out into the real world. Um, and then another concern. Oh, procedures to follow. Okay, contact the coach via email to set up an appointment. Our coaches will not meet without an admin present. Cell phone communication with coaches should only occur to report an injury, emergency, or illness. All other issues should be addressed via email. Anonymous communication will be disregarded. Unsigned emails are not a constructive way to communicate a problem or concern. If you can't sign it, don't send it. Please do not attempt to communicate concerns with the coaches before, during, or after the game, performance, or class time. Meeting of this nature normally do not assist in creating a resolution to the situation. So if you come to me in the middle of the game about an issue, I'm not trying to be rude, but I will not sit and have that discussion with you. We can sit down at another time to go over those, and you will just reach out via email and we will set up a time and sit down with an admin and go over that. Section 13, national and regional competitions. This is when all the cheerleaders' ears perk up, because this is going to be a little bit different, and so let's go over it. All members of the Westlake High School cheer squad, gold, blue, and white, will be required to participate on a crowd leader competition team. This team will compete at local competitions and will not require additional bylaws or fees. We will have a separate traveling team that competes locally and travels to the USA High School Spirit Nationals in Anaheim, California, in a varsity show cheer advanced co-ed category. Our traveling team will hold separate tryouts, and this will require additional fees and bylaws. So our gold, blue, and white squad will compete on a crowd leader competition team together as one. So one big squad. This crowd leader team is going to be so much fun. This is like the basics of cheer, fight song, band chant. It really is a blast. I'm really excited about it, and it will look really cool to have that many athletes out on the mat at once, leading a crowd. And then we will have our separate traveling team in the varsity show cheer advanced co-ed category. And anyone from any of the white, blue, or gold squad can try out for this team. Those tryouts will be sometime over the summer. Usually it's towards the end of the summer, but we don't have a date for that yet. So we're not going to have a local competition team for like a JV squad like we have in the past. It's now just going to be one big squad that competes locally on the crowd leader team. We are so pumped about this. I think this is going to be such a cool thing. I think it's really going to bond the three teams together, and be really fun. And it'll be really fun to perform at games together. And I'm really excited. So once we pick our squad, we'll show what that's going to look like, what those routines look like. And I think that the cheerleaders will be huge fans of that. So yeah, moving on to section 14, the Westlake Way. Our athletic director asks that we have this as part of our bylaws. This is a building a championship culture, and it's in the first category says what we believe, how we behave, outcome achieved. We are really going to focus on this year. We're going to use this as kind of a theme for a lot of different things. How they explain it to us is so that if whatever team you are on, whether this is the drama, I guess it's the drama team, or the football team, or the debate team, or the cheer team, that we are building the same culture on each team, and we have the same vision, which I really, really love. So we're going to focus on this a lot this year. For upcoming dates, normally I would have this planned out well in advance. Our uniform fitting that we had already had set has come and gone, and our safety clinic should be in a couple days as well. So obviously, we're not going to those. We will get those dates out as soon as we are cleared to be in large groups of people. And then the parade is going to be on June 13th. This is the Saratoga Splash Parade, and we're really excited about that one. And then, so let's go into the summary of the year. Summer will have practices 3 times a week: Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Monday and Thursday will be 7 to 9 a.m. Tuesdays will be 7 to 9:30 p.m. And this might change a little bit from the gold to the blue to the white squad, depending on some work schedules. And then we'll have a service project fundraiser, a blue and white scrimmage, cheer camp, squad breakfasts. In the fall, class time is B5. That's the first period on B days. And then as the crowd leader competition side of stuff comes up, we'll come at 6 a.m. And then a football game once a week, volleyball games here and there, a fall service project, a mini cheer fundraiser, cheer competition fundraiser, competition evening practices. That's just to give you kind of an idea of if you decide to try out for the competition team, those extra things, and then Saturday morning practices when necessary. In the winter, the same B5 first period on B days, boys basketball, girls basketball, wrestling. It's about 2 to 4 nights per week. And then we'll have our crowd leader competition practices and competitions. And then if you do the competition team, then nationals will be sometime in February. Okay, let's go into the financial obligation, every parent's favorite part. Um, I'll start off by saying it is crucial that payments be made on time. Orders cannot be placed until payment is made. For those who have not paid fees on time, they will not be allowed to participate. So this is going to look like a lot of words. Um, Over here on the left, we have our optional payment, payment 1, 2, and 3, and then I've broken it up from the cheer team and then the male stunt team, so you kind of have an idea of what that looks like. Um, Cheer required fees are all listed under here. That's going to be uniforms, liners, choreography, game day, apparel, shirts, hoodies, leggings, poms, and bows, camp practice gear, warm ups. Stunt required fees are going to look really similar. They're not going to have bows and poms and leggings. So that's why they're a little bit less. And then our optional are going to be our camp, Navy Spanx, cheer shoes, backpack. Um, an optional stunt team is camp in the backpack. So let's kind of break that up. The cheer, the choreography cheer gear will include choreography, signs, supplies, mats, tapes, straps, activities, additional clothing, and other various expenses. And then we have down here an optional camp. The cost of UCA summer camp is $450. Camp is one of the most fun times of the year. Anyone who does not attend camp will still participate in games and events but will not be in any routines that were prepared for camp or dances, stunts, and pyramids that were learned at camp. We learned tons of stuff at cheer camp, and so we really encourage everyone to attend. The school will also charge an additional $100 and $50 participation fee / game day fee during school registration. For all team members, this payment is required for every athlete at Westlake, so this will be due when you do your registration for school. Additional tour fees for competition may be finalized at parent meeting, so those comp fees we'll go over kind of in late summer, early fall. All payments must be made in full by the due date or your clothing will not be ordered. Cheerleaders will not be eligible to participate in most events without required clothing and uniforms. All cheer team members are also required to purchase new white cheer shoes, not 5-year-old dirty, nasty cheer shoes. We want them to look new and clean, especially at games. navy spankies, a navy backpack. You may choose your own, or we will have some at the uniform fitting. Stunt team members will be required to purchase matching shoes because there's not just like a generic shoe for the men that will all look the same. So, that is our financial obligation. Go into some of the agreements and papers that you'll sign through Register My Athlete. First, we have our informed consent and acknowledgement agreement for the cheer and stunt team program. Um, this is a warning that cheerleading is a vigorous physical activity involving motion, rotation, and height in unique environment, and such carries with it a higher than ordinary risk of injury. So this is your just understanding the risks of cheer. Um, so that's in there. Then we have our cheerleading stunt team tryout permission slip. We're going to go over the tryout process more at the end, but this is your child has permission to try out. You understand that tryouts are final and what the tryout process will look like. And then we have the health and safety agreement. Um, Do not try out if existing injuries or diseases prohibit you from vigorous exercise or physical limitations. And you guys will get a copy of this in Register My Athlete so you can go over all the fine print of this. I've had lots of questions already, so let's get into the tryout portfolio. There'll be a link to the tryout portfolio in the comments. We'll also put it on our Instagram. This is due by May 8th at 10 a.m. And let's go for it. Here is the Westlake Cheer Portfolio form. It needs to be filled out by May 8th at 10 a.m. It also has a little reminder to make sure you're getting cleared on Register My Athlete. You'll need to enter your email and the parent meeting code below, which is going to be Thunder, all capitalized Thunder. And then you're going to upload a headshot here and your first and last name. You're going to have to enter your email address twice. Make sure this isn't a district email. This will also be the email we'll send you your tryout time to. Then your home address, your phone number. You'll select your t-shirt size, what grade you will be in next year, if you will be in the 9th grade next year, what junior high will you attend, what team are you trying out for. Please upload a picture. Let me go back to that one. What team are you trying out for? If you are trying out for any of them, then you'll press all squads. If you're only trying out for the gold squad and we don't find a fit for you on the gold squad, but you didn't select all, you would be cut. And then stunt team, this would be all of our male athletes. And then please upload a picture of your third quarter GPA. So you'll upload your transcript and then you'll also enter the GPA below, your preferred stunting position, what positions you're willing to stunt in. This is multiple choice. Have you had an injury that may limit your participation in tryouts or the season? Why do you want to cheer for Westlake High School? I would do a paragraph or two. And then please list your social media accounts and specify which one it is. So you'll need to write Instagram and then the Instagram name, Twitter, and then the Twitter name, TikTok, then your TikTok name, and then you'll press submit. Okay, let's move on to Register My Athlete. This will have to be completed by May 14th. So I'm going to show you what that looks like and how to do it. Also, I'll put a link in the comments on how to access the physical form. This will also be on our blog as well. This is what you'll need to upload onto Register My Athlete in order to be clear. Okay, so you're going to click the Register My Athlete link, or you can go to registermyathlete.com. If you have already created an account, then you can just use that account. If not, you're going to want to create an account. And then once you've created that account, you're going to click register for a sport. After you select that, you're going to click the year. This is our one from a couple years ago. So this is going to say 2021, 2020, 2021. So ignore that part and make sure that you select what year, so next year. And then you're going to select cheer. And that's going to create your account. And then for the physical form, you're going to go to thunderathletics.org and you're going to go to the side and you're going to go to more. And then you're going to go to tryout information. And then you're going to click a blank physical form. I'll also put a blank physical form on the blog so that it's easy to access and find. And then everything must be completed and uploaded to Register My Athlete for us to be able to let you try out. This is very important. So you're going to have to sign the bylaws and Register My Athlete. You're going to need to upload the form and make sure that everything is filled out in your emergency contact information. That way you are cleared, and once you have the cleared for tryouts, you will be good to go. And then we don't want to run into any issues for clearance come tryouts. If you have any questions, email me. Please email me and not the athletic director. I will get back to you quicker. And so tryouts will be May 15th, and the tryout results will be posted here on the blog May 18th. So whsthundercheerleading.blogspot.com. So let's kind of go over what that tryout process is going to look like. Okay, so as athlete arrives, they will be asked to stay in their car until they see or hear their numbers called. So this will be announced over like a speaker, or you'll see a whiteboard. Athletes will be asked to wear a mask while coming and going from the tryout, not during the actual tryout, since that could be dangerous. Athletes will be supplied their own mat, placed 6 feet apart from the others. And then tryouts will happen in groups of 3 with 6 coaches judging in person. And then there'll be the one person outside calling the next group up and monitoring the warm-up room. So this will be about 10 people at once. And then we'll have athletes assigned a time for a tryout and a time for their warm-up. They'll enter in the West Ox gym doors 10 minutes prior to their tryout time, and then walk through the doors to the East Ox gym for their 15 to 20 minute time block, and then they'll exit out the East gym doors. That way no one will cross paths. Judges will be supplied masks and will be placed 6 feet apart. We're asking that athletes also stay 6 feet apart throughout the entire process. We will be disinfecting the mats throughout the day. We will also have hand sanitizer stations as you get there and as you leave. No video tryouts will be an alternative to the physical tryout. We'll ask that you just set up a different time with us. And then parents cannot enter the building during scheduled tryout times. Athletes need to leave when they are done. And then if you are sick, do not come to tryouts. We will reschedule with you for another time. And then I know a lot of that can sound a little bit confusing. We are going to put together a video of what the tryout process will look like, where you will park, how you will walk in, how much time you will get in each room, and we'll release that the week of tryouts so that you can feel prepared in knowing where to go and what to do, especially if you aren't super familiar with the high school. And then let's go into some frequently asked questions before we're done. What to wear to tryouts. We ask that you wear athletic clothes, tight fitting, especially for running and standing tumbling. So an athletic top, some athletic shorts. We ask that you wear cheer shoes. If you don't have a pair of cheer shoes, then a pair of just athletic shoes will do. And then for your hair, we ask that you have a high slick back ponytail. So no strands coming down, everything pulled up nice and slick into your hair or into your pony. And then what are the minimum requirements for each team? This is my least favorite question, honestly, because I feel like you should just be working your hardest and getting the hardest skills that you personally can. So I put on here just do your best. Um, there, we have asked for standing tucks on the varsity squad in the past. With our new structure with the gold squad. Um, we do want a larger team, so we will not expect standing tucks from the entire team. That would be more of a requirement for the competition team. Um, so just just do your best. And then let's move on to what is the order of tryouts. You're going to rally in. You're going to do your running tumbling pass, your standing tumbling pass, kicks and jumps. And then one of the coaches will call it a cheer. So you'll learn 2 cheers. And then you will demonstrate the one that the coach called out. And then you will end with your sideline dance. And all of this will be posted, and you will have about a week to learn all of the tryout material, and have plenty of time to perfect it. And then for updates and info for tryouts, Westlake High Cheer, and then we also have the Westlake Cheer Tryout Instagram, and then everything will be posted to our blog, whsthundercheerleading.blogspot.com. And you've made it. You are to the end. I know it was kind of lengthy and long, but we did it together, and I'm so pumped for tryouts. I'm so glad that we get to meet you guys in person and see your skills and your personalities shine. Just have fun, don't stress. We are your biggest cheerleaders, and we are really excited to see everyone.